Nick.
Yeah.
From Moreno Valley, California. I am 54 and plan to retire to the Philippines in January 2020. Total monthly income needed to start is $4,000. All right. A lot of people going to different places, Al.
Yeah, I think that's
We
cool.
got Dominican Republic. We got the Philippines.
Where are you going to go?
We're going to go to Minnesota.
Minnesota?
Who's we?
He and his mom.
Yeah.
Ruthie.
Yeah.
She's got an extra room in her house, doesn't
Yes,
Cool.
she does.
She's going to miss the winter in San Diego then.
Yeah. I don't know where the hell I'm going to go. I'm going to go somewhere, though, after this show.
You're
The golf course.
going to go as far away from me as you possibly
I am.
can.
I'm going to somewhere.
Yeah.
All right. I'm 54, plan to retire to the Philippines in 2020. Okay. Total monthly income needed is $4,000. We will have no mortgage when retire. Currently, home will be sold at a gain of $80,000 to pay off home in Philippines and money left to purchase car and build a vacation home. Holy buckets.
Cool.
You could pay off your home,
Right.
buy a car,
And
build a vacation home for $80,000.
Yeah, I like it.
Okay. My pension starts at, let's call it $2,000 a month with 50% survivor.
At age 55.
We will start withdrawing 3% from 401k with 3% inflation or wait 2 more years and get $2,400 a month from pension and withdraw $4,000 a year from the 401k for 2 years. We will claim Social Security at 65, $3,000 a month. What's your question, Nick? We have $550,000 in 401ks, $120,000 in Roth, $12,000 in IRA, $120,000 in brokerage accounts, $8,000 in savings bond, $14,000 in a Philippine mutual fund, $75,000 emergency funds. Man, you're doing pretty good, Nick. 40-60 split. My question, thank God, here it is should I do an annuity, pension, or lump sum? Okay, so let me see. The total amount after retirement is $380,055 or four. Well, what's the pension amount? Doesn't even give us it. How am I going to answer your question, Nick, when I don't have the annuity amount?
Maybe that's the 380 if you keep reading.
The total amount after retirement is $380,000 at 55 or $420,000 if I wait 2 years before I start pension.
That's the lump sum, and the pension you already read. It's $1,900 at age 55, and if he waits 2 more years, it's $2,400.
Oh, okay.
I think.
And so there's a few ways to try to figure this thing out. There has to be a couple variables. Life expectancy is the biggest.
Sure.
Is that, all right, because when you have a standard pension, most people will have options. And Nick has options, and it will be, all right, would you like a lump sum? We'll cut you a check right now. In his case, it was about $380,000 lump sum. And his annuity or income payment, he could either take the $380,000 or they say, you know what, we'll keep the $380,000. We'll pay you $1,900 a month for the rest of your life.
Right.
Okay? So that sounds pretty good. The other option is that he's going to wait 2 years and say, I'm going to take $420,000 versus the $380,000, or I will get $2,400 per month for the rest of my life. So what Nick needs to do is he needs to figure out what the internal rate of return is on that cash flow stream, because then he can compare. Because I would say, Al, I don't know, maybe 10, 15 years ago with pension plans, the internal rate of returns were quite high. So it would make zero sense to take the lump sum because the either the government or the employer or whatever is giving you such a high payment that it would be almost impossible for you to take the lump sum and try to replicate that income stream.
Right.
And if it's guaranteed by, quote unquote, by that organization, well, you know, those are a lot of positives. However, what has happened today is that the amount of payment versus lump sum has slowly gone down. Because a lot of these companies can't afford these pension plans.
Right.
Before they did some terrible actuarial tables of figuring out, they mismanaged. We had 2008, 2000, and all sorts of variety of things.
Right, and fixed income has been really low for quite a while.
So it's like, okay, well, here I'm trying to get some income, and then my interest rates on my bonds are, 1 or 2%.
Right.
So we did a little bit of math, and right now, if you run this stuff to life expectancy age 85, I mean, it's almost a break even, right? The companies are smart. They get this stuff too. They're not going to favor one or the other. It's like, okay, well, here, if you want this, we'll give it to you. If you want that, we'll give it to you. There's no really better deal in most cases. The better deal is going to be based on the individual to see how long they live. If they're going to live a long time, then the annuity payment, that internal rate of return is going to increase.
Sure.
If they die prematurely, of course, then their internal rate of return is going to be a lot lower. And so, what did we run until age 95 with this gentleman?
Correct.
Right? So, let's say if Nick lives until age 95, so that's a 40-year life expectancy, his internal rate of return over that 40 years, if he took the annuity payment, was roughly 5%. So then Nick's got to make a decision to say, well, okay, I have a guaranteed fixed income for the rest of my life if that company's still around and that pension's still going to come to me. So I guess that's another risk.
Yes. Well, plus it's a 50% survivor.
And if he dies, then the wife only gets 50%.
Correct.
At 5%, what would you do, Al? Would you take the annuity or would you take the lump sum?
Well, I would probably take the lump sum just to have more control over it, I think.
I think so, too. At 5, if it was 6 or 7,
Yeah.
I would probably take the annuity.
Yeah, and I think, and the way that you described is the best and correct way to do it, but a lot of people don't really know how to do that. Here's a shortcut, just to give you an idea, is just take the monthly payments, in this case $1,900, multiply it by 12 to get the annual amount, divide that into the lump sum, and see what the distribution rate is. And if it's 8% or higher, then maybe you might want to consider the payment stream. If it's 6% or lower, you might want to consider the lump sum. And it kind of depends. Of course, all this is predicated on what your expectation is on life expectancy.
Right.
And a lot of people tend to like to take the lump sum just because it's a known thing. We don't really know how long we're going to live. And in this particular case, the numbers he gave us was 50% survivor. So this could all change if he passes and then his spouse only gets half of it.
And Nick has about, 5, 6, 7, 800,000 already in liquid assets. He's only looking to live off of $4,000. Was that a month? And so
Yep.
It's like, okay, well, I don't know. You're going to have Social Security of a couple $1,000s. It all depends on life expectancy and control. But I think the internal rate of return on the overall cash flow streams, the net present value, I guess, of what he's going to receive from cash flows from that pension, is decent. So it's looking at risk at that point. Do I think I can beat 5% over 30, 40 years in my portfolio? If I feel that I could do that, then maybe you invest it yourself. If you say, you know what, 5% I'm happy with, if I got 5% for the rest of my life, then take the pension.
Right. And of course, now, what if you think you're going to live to 105?
Yeah, then you absolutely take the pension.
Right, because it changes then.
Yeah, but
we don't know that, do we?
No. And
at least most of us. You don't know how long you're going to live, do you?
No, I wish. I don't wish I knew that.